Business Review, your daily source for the most critical stories in the financial world. Tune in next time for the latest financial news impacting the world economy.
Gold futures on the COMEX division of the New York Mercantile Exchange rose on Tuesday as the US dollar weakened. The most active gold contract for August delivery rose 15.60 US dollars or 0.88% to close at $1,782 per ounce. Data indicates that the COVID-19 pandemic has not yet finished its impact on the world, and lockdowns may continue for a certain period of time to come, also supporting gold. IHS Markit released a report on Tuesday showing its flash manufacturing sector purchasing managers index at a reading of 49.6 in June. Market analysts said although the figure is a 4-month high, it still remains below the 50 level, which indicates worsening conditions. Due to the extensive stimulus from central banks, investors remain cautious over the possibility for future inflation. Gold was capped somewhat as most major stock market indexes across the globe were positive on Tuesday. Silver for July delivery rose 16.1 cents or 0.9% to close at $18.063 per ounce, while platinum for July delivery rose $2.7 or 0.32% to close at $846.4 per ounce.
Walt Disney Company said on Wednesday, June the 24th, the company's reopening of theme parks and resort hotels in California will be delayed until Disneyland receives approval from the state. Disney had originally planned to reopen the Disneyland Park and Disney California Adventure Park on July the 17th. The company has also received pushback from unions representing 17,000 workers at its Disneyland resort in Southern California, who said they were not convinced the theme park could be safe enough to reopen by the company's target date. Disney began closing its theme parks around the world in January in response to the spread of the virus. Disney in early May said that measures to contain the pandemic had cut its profits by $1.4 billion, most from its shuttered theme parks that Disney began reopening, and Hong Kong, Disneyland in Florida, and Shanghai. In Florida, it has partially reopened now with Disney Springs Entertainment and the shopping complex.
The foreign ministers of China, Russia, and India on Tuesday held a video conference to reaffirm their commitment to fight against the COVID-19 pandemic together, as well as uphold multilateral ties. The Russia-India-China or RIC Foreign Ministers Conference was attended by Chinese State Councillor and Foreign Minister Wang Yi, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, and Indian External Affairs Minister Subrahmanyam Jaishankar. Wang said that China, Russia, and India should strengthen their cooperation, uphold multilateralism, and improve global governance. The foreign ministers agreed that there is a need to enhance collaboration on epidemic prevention and control and strengthen their cooperation mechanism. Lavrov and Jaishankar said that their countries firmly support multilateralism and multipolarization, stressing that international relations should be based on the recognized standard of international law. As the chairperson of this year's conference, Lavrov said the three countries should stay united in the face of a host of challenges, maintain strategic communications, deepen cooperation on epidemic prevention, facilitate post-pandemic economic recovery, and make concerted efforts to safeguard global peace.
Chinese telecom giant Huawei opened its second flagship store in Shanghai on Wednesday, part of plans to strengthen its brand in its core Chinese consumer market. Hundreds of face mask wearing customers queued up to enter the 5,000 square meter store, Huawei's largest, located on the city's busiest shopping street. Company representatives said Huawei intends to open several more such stores in China in the coming year to showcase its smartphones and other consumer tech plans. The store will organize community events in the Huawei community, providing more than 60 free lectures to community members in 8 different subject areas, ranging from video production to fitness. Local artists and international tech developers will be invited to each store month for the workshop sessions. There are also more than 200 sales consultants in the store, providing translation services in around 10 languages. According to the International Data Corporation, the IDC, Huawei had a commanding 42.6% share of China's total smartphone market in the first quarter of 2020. However, Huawei revenue had been hit by the pandemic, growing just 1.4% in the first quarter, down from 39% growth in quarter 1 of 2019.
Hungary has signed a loan agreement with China that sets in motion Europe's first major Belt and Road Initiative infrastructure project, modernizing the rail link from its capital Budapest to Belgrade in Serbia. Once completed, the new stretch of railway will connect Europe to the port at Piraeus in Greece, opening the European market not only to China but also the rest of the world. The $2.1 billion modernization of the rail link from Budapest to Belgrade will be funded in the majority by a loan from China, with Hungary providing 15% of the cost. The current railway, a key access route to the Balkans and Greece, hasn't been redeveloped since it was built 40 years ago. Construction of Serbia's section of the railway began in 2018 after Serbia borrowed $297.6 million from China. The new faster rail link will pass through rural parts of southern Hungary, opening opportunities to enhance agriculture and food processing, as well as for foreign investment in the small towns that are currently held back by the existing infrastructure. Construction of the rail link in Hungary will begin next spring.
The world's most visited museum, the Louvre, is preparing to reopen after a nearly 4-month lockdown, projecting an 80% plunge in visitor numbers, which the management says makes it the moment to see its masterpieces without the crowds. The museum, home to works including Leonardo da Vinci's Mona Lisa, closed its doors in mid-March as part of government measures to halt the pandemic. Most of its galleries will reopen on July the 6th, with customers obliged to book tickets and safety measures including mandatory face masks and a one-way system through certain rooms. The museum says time-specific slots will allow it to control numbers at peak periods. Most people enter the museum between 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. and capacity will be deliberately limited to 30%. The museum's director, Jean-Luc Martinez, said its sheer size, 45,000 square meters of galleries containing 30,000 works, will reopen with large courtyards, allowing visitors to enjoy the art while respecting social distancing. Martinez said the lockdown had come at a cost, 40 million euros in lost ticket office revenue, cancelled events and shop sales. But despite the challenging economic climate, he expects the recovery to take up to 3 years.